Welcome to Team Kings, showcasing team spirit at Kings High School. And with us today, two members of the Kings boys soccer team, both seniors, Jared McInnes and Jace Fransen. Guys, thanks for being here. We should talk about Friday night first. An unusual game for you guys. You had the alumni at Woolsey taking on the Knights versus the Knights. Jared, what is that like? What exactly were you expecting from that game, and what did you get from the old guys, so to speak?
Well, it's always fun because a lot of our coaches last year were alumni, so just getting to play against them was fun. And the game's always really competitive, or it was last year as well, just because the alumni are good soccer players, and they've had a lot of experience playing soccer. So it's always a good, competitive game, but it's always fun.
And Jace, for you, when you're in the middle of the season like this, or actually winding down your season, you've got a big matchup coming up this week. Do you worry about a game like that? I mean, obviously you want to compete and you want to go out and try to get a W, but at the same time, you need to stay healthy for the rest of the year. What's the mentality like as a teammate out there when you're out there playing?
I think that it is a fun game to play in, but you also got to be careful while you're playing. I think that mainly that we all went out there and we all tried our hardest, and that we weren't really too worried about injuries, but we always had that in the back of our mind.
And Jared, I have to ask, I'm sorry, but final score?
We lost 1-0.
1-0. Does it feel like a normal loss? I mean, do you want that one even more in some ways because of the fact that it's bragging rights at the school, or?
No, I at least for me, I don't really care that much about it. It's just a fun atmosphere and fun time, but I didn't really care about the result.
Sure. Jace, any of the guys surprise you at all? The old guys?
Yeah, there was our coach last year was an alumni of Kings, and he came back and he was a lot better than I thought he would be. And then actually my brother played on their team because he was a senior when we were freshmen, and playing against him was pretty fun.
And your brother's name, since we want to give him a shout out?
Ryan Fransen.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Ryan gets the better of Jace. So he has home bragging rights anyway for a year.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I guess in the future you'll be an alum, so you'll be playing with him.
Yeah.
Hey, overall thoughts on the season so far? You guys are 7-2-1 in league play, third place, but you're just right on the heels of Cedar Crest and Archbishop Murphy, so there's not much separation there. Jared, are you content with the way things have played out this year so far?
Yeah, I guess since we have a split 1A, 2A league, it's always nice to do well in league, but ultimately our goal is to get the first seed for the 1A teams, and Cedar Crest and Archbishop Murphy aren't those teams, so it's always nice to beat and compete with those teams. But we've done what we needed to done, and we've played well. In some games, I thought we deserved better in Cedar Crest and Archbishop Murphy. But yeah, we've played a good season so far.
And Jace, Jared kind of led into one of my upcoming questions. Again, you guys want to get that number one seed, but really it is still the Cascade Conference. You do still want to get these guys when you can, right? It's just as competitive as if versus a 2A school versus a 1A school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we go out there and we compete, and our long history with Archbishop, we always want to go out there and win, and it was a shame that we couldn't go out there and get the win the first time. We were missing quite a few people because of spring break, and we had some unfortunate goals. So I think we're coming up on them again this week, and we're really looking to win that game.
Yeah, an Archbishop Murphy team that I think right now is the 3-time defending 2A state champs. Mm-hmm. Three consecutive state championships, so it's quite the powerhouse there. Yet they're probably not quite as strong as they were last year, but they're still an extremely good team, and a team that you only lost to 2-1 earlier this year. Jared, mm-hmm. Are you pretty excited to get another shot at them before the season's out? I know you play them Tuesday night up at Murphy, right?
Yeah, it's always we've played Archbishop. I've played them all 4 years of my high school career, never beat them. So when we were winning 1-0 with 20 minutes to go, it was hard to lose in those last 20 minutes, especially the way we did. So I'm really excited to go get another shot.
And then you round out your regular season on Thursday night, 5 p.m. start time over at Woolsey, and you're going to be taking on Cedar Park Christian. Jace, has it kind of sunk in yet that this is going to be the final time, I guess during regular season anyway, that you suit up as a member of the Kings soccer team at Woolsey Stadium?
It really hasn't yet. Like all seniors said before us, that time flies by real quick, and just to enjoy it, and it really does fly by, and it's weird to think that this is the last time that I'll be playing in a regular season as a high schooler.
And this is a question I always like to ask a lot of the seniors, especially since I just think the world of Woolsey. I just love the environment and the atmosphere there. Jared, how much of an advantage is it for you guys to have that field to play on and to? Do you ever catch yourself in the middle of a soccer match, just kind of looking up at the trees and everything, and going, "This is a pretty cool backdrop for soccer"?
Yeah, it was when I played it at Cedar Park. It was really intimidating to go into Woolsey just because it was just the stadium and the atmosphere was just different than I think any other place in the conference. So it's really awesome to play at an awesome stadium like that.
And they've hopefully they'll be playing well beyond the final game on Thursday. They've got playoffs coming up next week, the following week. Let me hear a little bit about each other. Tell me what makes the other one a good teammate, what makes the other one a good person. I'll kind of just throw that out openly and let you run with it. Jace, I'm going to start with you. Tell me a little bit about Jared McInnes and what he means to this team.
Yeah, Jared is he is one of our best players, if not our best. He's our center mid. He keeps the ball so well for us, and when it seems like whenever nobody's open, Jared somehow gets open, even though there's 3 guys guarding him, and even with those 3 guys on him, he's keeping the ball and finding the right pass, and he's just a real vocal leader out there, and he keeps the team in check, and when people aren't working hard enough, he gets on them, but not in a mean way, but like in an encouraging way that they need to step it up, and we need to play better as a team and stuff like that.
And he's also generous in that he lets you guys have more food at the pregame dinner.
Yes.
We were talking about that off camera. Jared, not a big eater on game night, so gives you guys a little more of an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Jared, tell me a little bit about Jace. What's Jace Fransen like?
Yeah, Jace it's interesting because you know him in school, and then you know people you play with on a team in school soccer, and he's a really relaxed guy, but so it's always nice to have that because it's always good to be relaxed before games. But when it comes to game time, Jace is there, and he's a real leader on our team, even though he's not one of the captains. He's keeps everybody in check, kind of like he was saying about me. And I guess Jace is just really a gamer, and when it comes down to something needs to get done in a game or something needs to happen, Jace is going to probably be the one to do it.
Okay, and now we've heard about you two. Let's hear about some of these other guys here. I've got the roster in front of me. Tell me a little bit about the. Let's talk defense first. Let's start off with goalkeeping. What are we looking at there, Jace?
We have a junior goalkeeper, the only junior on the varsity team, Gunnar Moorhead, and he's a phenomenal goalkeeper. He saves our butts so many times in a game. He'll have a one-on-one opportunity, or somebody will have a one-on-one opportunity with him. And he'll save the goal, and we're really blessed to have him, but sometimes he's an idiot out on the field, and we need to keep him in check because he's yelling at the refs, and he agrees that guys just shut me up when I start yelling at the refs and stuff like that. But other than that, he's a great, phenomenal goalkeeper.
Good for him for recognizing it anyway, and giving you permission to check him when he needs it, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the defensive side of things, Jared. Who are we looking at on the defensive line?
I think, we have a lot of good defenders, but I think really the standout one this year has been Christian Engman. He's a sophomore center back, and last year he was good, but he's just really grown into his position at center back this year, and I don't think there's a better defender in our conference than him. He's just, we've only given up a couple of goals this year, and that's a lot of because of Christian and his leadership back there. And even against the alumni, he goes toe-to-toe with these really big guys, and he just out-muscles everybody. And, yeah, he's a great player. Also on the defensive side, we have Ian Richards and Ram, who are also sophomores, and they put in good shifts back there as well.
You guys couldn't talk Christian's brother into playing this year? Was that ever?
I don't think basically Duke didn't even allow him to play. They didn't even give a thought to that.
Was it going to happen? Huh?
Yeah.
Midfield. I mean, we're talking to a couple of the midfielders right here, but who else are we looking at along that midline there, Jace?
At certain points, we have senior Atlee Shapiro. One of our star players, co-captain with Jared, and he'll sometimes play forward and sometimes play midfield. He's been playing a little more forward lately, and then on the outsides we switch off. We usually have pair of freshmen on right and left mid. That'll be Jack McAllister and Ray Lee, and they're phenomenal freshmen for being out there and competing with guys that are older than them.
You mentioned Atlee plays mid and he plays a little forward. Mm-hmm. You do the same, right? So is it nice to have that versatility on the team?
Yes,
and that guys can play multiple positions?
It's super nice to just have people that will be willing to play anywhere. Another player that does that is Jonathan Chen. He'll switch from anywhere from D to forward. He'll play anywhere on the field, and he's just one of our like utility players that will do anything and will stand out at that position.
And then Jared, what about the front line?
Yeah, we've had a couple players play up there. I mean, Roman Billing is a really phenomenal player for us. He's been hurt the last couple games, but his pace and his ability to take people on is really hard to manage for a lot of defenders. And since he's been injured a little bit, we've had Marcus Vanderwill and also Jonathan Chen's played up there, and those guys have done an awesome job. Marcus is really tall and can kind of get in on crosses, and Chen just works his butt off at everything. So yeah, we've had some great options for forward this year.
And then let's talk about the coaching staff. Coaches who have a state championship now, right? You've got a couple in particular I know who were coaching the girls' side of things, including your first-year head coach, Matt Sporn. What's it been like to play for Coach Sporn?
It's been a real joy. He's a great coach. He knows what he's doing in soccer, and he's super fun to be around, and just overall really good coach.
And then your assistant coach, Nicole, she was the head girls coach this year. Finally got their first title. Have the coaches been reminding you that maybe it's time to have the boys put one up there as well? Or?
Yeah, I think when the seniors talked with Coach Sporn when he first got hired, we told them that we wanted to win a state championship. So they really haven't been reminding us, but I think that it's in the back of everybody's mind at this point that we really want to go do what the girls did this year.
How supportive are the boys and girls teams for one another? I mean, were you? I'm guessing you were both at the championship game earlier this year. Is it something they're kind of hoping for as well? It would be.
Yeah, I'm pretty good friends with a couple of the senior girls on the girls soccer team, and they always remind me that they won state championship in a joking way, but they really want us to go out and win one too. They're really excited and hoping that we can do that.
I know it's not always an easy thing to gauge when you're in a conference that's 2A and 1A, but realistically, I mean, are you starting to get a sense of where the pecking order is for the 1A state playoffs this year? I know this is a team that seems to be a regular participant in the state tournament, but really the semifinal seems to be kind of the cutoff point the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. I know there was a state championship 10 years ago, but are you starting to get a sense, Jared, as to where you guys might be kind of in that order of things?
Yeah, we played a lot of the teams that are pretty good in the 1A conference come from the west side of Washington, and usually the smaller 1A private schools. A lot of them play in this league called the Emerald City League. So we played one of their teams, UPrep, earlier in the year, and beat them 2-1. So, and they're one of their better teams. So, I think we have a good shot at playing those teams and competing for a state title this year.
So we will see again the playoffs starting in early May. So we're not that far away at this point. And then as far as other activities, Jace, I know you played on the football team as well.
Yeah.
Is it in this day and age? I know soccer. There's so many players that are playing club. I know Jared plays for a club team. Is it easy to be a multi-sport athlete and still compete at the soccer level?
It is pretty challenging coming in and playing a bunch of kids who've played soccer year round. It's pretty hard, but it's not too hard. It's something that is possible, and we have a couple. We have 3, 4, 5 football players who play soccer, and some of our star players like Atlee Shapiro and Jonathan Chen. And yeah, it just really comes down to like whether you're willing to go out there and try your best for not playing year round and work on it in practice and try to get better.
And Jared, for you, I mean, is it one of those things? Do you ever worry about burnout a little bit, or just wanting to kind of relax the soccer muscle, so to speak, and do other things, or have you kind of enjoyed the course you've been on the last few years?
Yeah, I've seen that burnout happen with people, but I just love soccer so much. I can't. I wanted to play in college just because I would be so disappointed to this be my last soccer season. Like high school would be my last thing. So that's why I wanted to play further. So for me, I'm just really excited to go play more.
And you mentioned you will be playing college soccer, and we'll get to that in a minute. As far as getting prepared for the college year, are you going to continue playing soccer after the Kings season is over, or are you going to take a little time off?
Yeah, I'm going to be mainly focusing on. I'll practice with a team that I have some friends on, and then I'll also just focus on getting myself fit. And the college game is really fast and athletic, and you're going to be playing guys that are 20 years old. So just really focusing on fitness and then playing a little bit as well.
So speaking of college, let's hear from both of you as to what your future intentions are. You're both seniors. Jace, you already know where you're going, and it's a school that we've heard more than one time on the show already this year. Where are you heading off to?
I'm going to Grand Canyon University.
Feels like it's becoming Kings South down there. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of students going down there this year.
Yeah.
What is it about Grand Canyon University that attracts so many King students?
It's a private school, and it's a for-profit university, so they can keep the prices very cheap. So
Relatively speaking.
yeah,
right?
relatively speaking. So most students like that they won't come out of college with a lot of student debt, that they can go there. And not only is it like a very cheap campus, but it's really nice. Like it's one of like the best looking campuses. The dorms are suite style and pretty new, since it's a new campus. So everything there is just super nice, and it's a pretty big college too. So you're getting the whole experience in one.
The blue skies and the sunshine don't hurt either, right?
Nope, not at all.
And Jared, you're not going to get quite as much in terms of blue skies, but you're going to be able to continue your soccer career.
Yeah.
Heading to George Fox down in the Portland area. Why George Fox?
Yeah, I guess George Fox, I really like their academics there, and they have an awesome political science program, which I really want to pursue further. And they also just hired a new head soccer coach who's had real success at other universities. And I really like him as a coach, and so I chose because of those two reasons, really.
And you can get in the car on any given weekend and
Yeah.
head home for a while too, which
Yeah.
is always kind of nice.
Yeah, that's a nice part of that too.
So political science, and then Jace, we should mention too. What are you going to be studying?
I'm studying sports management.
So there we go, a political science major, a sports management major. Right now, 2 soccer players at Kings, though. And again, a big week coming up for you guys at Archbishop Murphy on Tuesday, at home against Cedar Park Christian on Thursday. You're old school, too, by the way. You were a freshman there.
Yeah.
I guess I should ask real quick, too, what is that like for you when you play against those guys? A lot of friendship still on that team?
The team's mostly freshmen, so I don't really know that many players, but I do know the coach, and so it's always fun to go back and play for a coach you've played for, kind of thing. Yeah, it's always a fun experience, but it's just kind of another game. I try to like another game kind of thing.
So 2 big games coming up this week, and then we head off to the playoffs in May. Again, Jared, Jace, congratulations on a great season thus far, and continued success for you and your Knights teammates.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And that will do it for this week's edition of Team Kings. We appreciate you watching, and until next time, take care.